So in this video, you see my my annual fall backpacking / camping trip that I try to do every year. This year, Hurricane Helene blew through, and I usually go with some friends, but this year with the hurricane, it pushed us back a couple of weeks, and my friends ended up really busy, so I still really wanted to go. At that time, you know, I went late October. My wife was due with our first child in mid-December, so it was just kind of a last hurrah before our child got here, and it was, you know, something I look forward to every year. It's a great, wonderful time to be out in the wilderness, really get to disconnect, be miles away from civilization, miles away from, you know, just cell phone service and coverage. So it's just a good opportunity for me to kind of hit a mental reset button and get out and really enjoy myself, and that's what you see here. So I'm not going to disclose where I was at, but it is southern Appalachia brook trout is what I was chasing. That's what's, you know, mostly what's in these streams that I'm in, and it's just always a wonderful time. Usually catch fish. This trip was a little bit more difficult as far as catching fish goes. You know, I'm not sure if the hurricane really messed them up, or maybe if it was already hit before I got there, but it was still a good time. Still caught some fish. I learned a lot more about the fishery, did a lot more travel, a lot more moving around and that sort of stuff. So and I got to test out my my truck bed camping setup that I'd just come up with. Really getting that prepped and ready. That's mostly for turkey season, but I definitely will look forward to using it while any kind of other hunting or fishing too. So, and this was my first run with it. I stayed in the truck bed the first night. So yeah, so that's where we're gonna pick up from.
Morning, y'all. Out here chasing some blue lines. Slept in the truck last night. Camped in the back. This was my first night camping in the back of the truck. And I don't know, got in like 10:30 Eastern time last night. Didn't sleep that great, but that was mostly my fault. Coughing, sneezing. I think something triggered my allergies when I got up here, but feeling better this morning, and actually even slept in a little bit later than I thought I would, considering how much light there was when I woke up. But getting packed up now and about to start hiking out up the mountain, and gonna chase some brook trout, so stay tuned.
This here is my favorite part of the hike. Not because I'm basically at camp, but this bridge and this view is amazing. And now we are in southern Appalachia brook trout territory. Oh man, isn't that beautiful? God's showing out a little bit. is where I wanted to camp. Nobody's here. It's great.
Got camp set up. Looking good. Somebody left that aluminum piece behind. I was able to use it to kind of clear off some of the leaves around my hammock, around the campsite. And Sarah sent me with some brownies, my wife. She sent me with some brownies, and it's in aluminum foil, and I think I can slap that over the fire tonight and warm them back up so they're nice. And got some hot brownies tonight to go with my chicken and dumplings, chicken and rice. I don't remember what I got for dinner tonight, but either way, it'll have a good dessert. Now let's go catch some fish.
Such a beautiful waterfall.
Back at camp. Only caught a couple fish today. It's pretty tough, pretty slow. I don't really know what the deal was. I threw every single thing I had at them. Went down in tippet size, went down in fly size, and came back to just catching them on the perdigons, which worked the best for me the last time I was here. So slightly concerning that there's not that many fish here this year. So don't know what all that's about, but I'm gonna try a different spot, another waterfall actually tomorrow. So I'm about to sit here and make dinner, and I don't even remember what I got for tonight. Hopefully I put this in the right order. Fettuccine Alfredo. Yeah. And then I think, yeah, I got an ice cream sandwich as well. I think tomorrow's creme brulee. So ice cream sandwich and some brownies. Who says you can't have a nice dinner out in the woods? So I'm about to make that and then start a fire. It's about 5:24, so I'm just kind of chill for a little bit.
Hey, it's like eating chalk, but it's good flavored chalk.
Putting on wet socks and wet shoes. It's probably 40 or 50 degrees outside. It's cold. The thing is, I didn't bring hiking boots, which means I gotta wear these all the way out in the morning or tonight, whenever I decide to leave. Isn't too bad, actually, surprisingly.
I did forget thicker socks. Luckily, I had a pair in my truck. The only socks I had were the ones I had on. So fortunately, I had the ones in my truck, so I got a pair to wear to bed. And another pair to wear around camp in case I get them wet. The last thing I want is cold, wet socks to wear to bed. Having the feet warm is important to me. So. Alright, guess I'm gonna grab my fishing stuff. And we've got, I think it's about a 2.5 mile hike to where I'm fishing today. Never fished this area, so it's gonna be exploratory, but hope it's cool. Hope there's some fish.
Alright, I'm glad I didn't record that. So I was gassed. A couple big switchbacks. I'm not really carrying all that much weight, but I guess I'm out of shape. Not used to going up mountains. It's that gassed me. We'll see if that's the way I take back. It's either take this way, which is a 1/4 mile shorter, but has some steep trails, or take the way that's a 1/4 mile longer, but you got a minimum of 8 creek crossings that I know of, and I'm going a mile further, so there could be more creek crossings. I'm not really sure. But it's 8 creek crossings from the waterfall I went to yesterday to camp, and I'm going a mile past that waterfall. So, we'll see. We'll see how frisky I feel. And it also kind of depends on if and where the fish are biting and all that. But man, let me tell you, that smoked me. And it looks like here's a creek crossing right here. Pulling him up out of the water. Oh yeah, no wonder you couldn't hook him. That was the fish that was trying to eat that chubby. He is ambitious. Chill, dude. Chill, my dude. Chill, my dude. Come on. Came back to camp, picked up a bunch of litter, drop it off. And I had one more hole that I saw that I want to fish before I call it done. I haven't really fished too much here immediately next to camp, but it's also, honestly, it's kind of hard to fish, it looks like, for the most part. Not that many long runs to get a good drift. But up around this bend, looked like a good, decent run. There's a campsite that I found this time that I haven't seen before. That probably has a little bit of an access point.
So like I said at the beginning of the video, the fishing was pretty tough, and you can kind of tell from the videos that I caught a few here and there, didn't get all of them on camera, managed to snap some pictures, caught a couple nice fish, but overall it was very difficult fishing. And but there at the end, that last night, I was actually chopping some firewood, and in doing that I ended up slicing my tendon. I didn't know that at the time that that's what I'd done, but as I was cutting the wood, it went down, hit my hand, and had immediate loss of a lot of blood. And it ended up feeling like my thumb cramped in on itself, and that was the tendon being sliced. But so I ended up breaking down camp one-handed, by myself, like I said, and walked out 4 or 5 miles to the truck. That's where an ambulance met me, and they got me wrapped up, and then proceeded to drive myself to the ER. Fortunately, we go to church with a hand surgeon, and my wife knew his wife very well, and he was actually able to look at me on Sunday afternoon, got me in for surgery on Monday morning. So I was incredibly fortunate to get that quick turnaround. At the time I'm recording this is early January, so a month and a half later, and the first surgery that took place on the Monday after the accident, that one actually failed. That tendon ruptured, and I had to have a second surgery, a transfer, and so I'm still in a splint with that right now. So you have a tendon in your index finger that you don't really use, so they moved that over to my thumb, and in an attempt to do a second repair, being as that first one ruptured. And so far so good on that, which is incredibly, I'm incredibly relieved, because if this transfer doesn't work out, then there is no other option to repair it that would leave me with full mobility in my thumb. So this is one of those kind of, this has to work in order for me to maintain my thumb mobility. So it was a scary situation, walking out all alone. I got dizzy. I got cold, which, it wasn't that cold. I shouldn't have been cold, especially, carrying 50 pounds on my back and all that. So I was definitely nervous about the potential of slipping and falling or losing consciousness, and fortunate that didn't happen. But it was also pretty tough to deal with afterwards. The anxiety and the stress and the frankly the PTSD of it, kind of left me in tremors, left me feeling sick for days. So I tell you all that just to tell you, like, when you go out on your adventures, on your hunting, fishing trips, hiking, camping, whatever it may be, like, having a good emergency plan is critical. And I had one kind of loosely worked out, but I definitely could have done it better. I definitely could have had a better emergency kit, and I definitely should have understood where the closest ER is. So all that, it was definitely a learning experience, and something, some mistakes were made that I won't ever make again. And at the same time, like, I'm not going to let it prohibit me from or scare me from going out and enjoying nature again. But it is one of those things that I will be better prepared. And one thing I haven't mentioned, that I've got a couple years ago, I got one of the Garmin inReach satellite messengers, and I can't speak highly enough of those things. I've had to use it multiple times now, and it also just provides a good security with between my wife and I, where I can just communicate with her, let her know what's going on. That way she has some peace of mind, I have some peace of mind to know she's not worried. And in case of emergencies like this, I'm able to get a message out. That's how EMS ended up meeting me at my vehicle at the trailhead. Actually, is my wife had called them and let them know where my truck would be, and they were able to meet me there. So all in all, I did things right and I did things well, but I definitely could have done things better. So just wanted to share that with y'all. So hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I did, and you stay safe out there. Fish well, hunt well, and do all the things you enjoy, but come home safely and potentially help others come home safely too. So that's one thing that I also learned in this, is that I could easily run across somebody else that wasn't that well prepared. Somebody that is in a similar situation that I was in, and I could be able to help them out. So that's really about it. But appreciate y'all watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.